going on, Jerome? So obviously, the most important game of the week was the Vikings beating the Tennessee Titans 23-13. But frankly, this was one of the more interesting weeks of football just as a observer of the other games and run through what's been going on. So last Thursday, again, every single time after a football Sunday, it sounds like Thursday games or just seem like months ago. But the Commies came up a little bit short against the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles moved to 8-2 on the season. I don't know how, but also Saquon should be an MVP if he stopped getting his touchdowns vultured at the goal line by Jalen Hurts. Just like every single time Saquon gets tackled at the one, you're just like, it's over. It's a wrap. It's finito, man. But Commies, came up short, but I still believe in Jane Daniels. I still believe in the squad. Scary Terry McLaurin got put in a blender by Quinny Mitchell, but it is what it is. Then the Sunday games, nailed it. Sunday games. So the Greasy Grime and Green Bay Packers, how do they keep getting away with it? The crooked Chicago Bears, you had one job. Thomas Brown, new OC, putting some points on the board. Caleb leading some last-second drives, looking really damn good. How does this happen again? How? The Packers are supposed to be 6-4, wanting some more, but it's just so frustrating. It is. Speaking of frustrating, so the Lions put the bang thing on the Jaguars 52-6. Now, we had said earlier in the week, the Jaguars, the Jaguars gave a game to the Vikings. They gave a game to the Packers. Why not the Lions? But then, so I skimmed the game after watching the Vikings win, and the Jaguars flat out quit. Like, maybe they play so the Jaguars defense is actually pretty damn good. As evidence of what we saw last Sunday. But maybe that was their last ditch, last hurrah, and they just shot their wad. But after the Lions' first touchdown, it was over. Like 7 touchdown drives. It was just atrocious. What happened here? The Jaguars flat out quit. Like, they have talent on that side of the ball, but they're just like, whatever. They quit on Doug. I wouldn't be surprised if Doug's fired today, and it's just a mess, right? And the Lions look good, man. It is what it is. Montgomery had 2 rushing touchdowns. Amon went off. Jamison Williams went off. He's going to get fined for doing the Marshawn Lynch crotch grab thing. Jahmyr Gibbs had a good game too. So I feel like watching the Lions dump truck other teams, it makes you feel better about losing by 2 points and in a game that you could have won if you got one freaking first down. But I digress. Vikings game we talked about ad nauseum. The Raiders. How about Brock Bowers? Like, whoever the hell the quarterback of the future is going to be for the Raiders, they're going to have a number one target in Brock freaking Bowers. 13. Was it 13? Can't read. Yeah, 13 for $126 and touchdown. He's got 70 catches. Insane, right? And the Dolphins, so they're stringing together a couple wins. They're at 4-6 now after beating the Rams Monday night. But Tua finding a groove. Tyreek Hill found the end zone. Achane getting things done again. So Jonnu Smith had 2 touchdowns. So maybe Miami can creep back into things. Who really knows? You got the Rams going down the road, beating the Patriots. Stafford was dialed in, pitched 4 touchdowns. Puka was back as well. The Rams are going to be tough. They're still on the outside looking in. They're the 8th seed right now, and it's going to take a little bit for them to get into the playoffs outside of them winning the NFC West, which is possible. A 3-way logjam at 5-5 with the Rams, the Niners, and the Seahawks. The Cardinals on bye are at 6-4. So, if the Rams get in, they're going to be sporty. Sean McVay's been there, done that. Same thing with Stafford. But we'll see. The Browns go on the road, lose to the Saints, whatever. Taysom Hill had one of those really stupid games where that's why you keep rostering him and starting him in fantasy, because you're hoping, sitting, waiting, wishing, Jack Johnson style, that this is going to be the week, except that he'll average 2 points a game the rest of the way. But Taysom, 3 touchdowns, ran the ball, threw the ball, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But the Saints, Rizzy ball, they're back. So they've won 2 in a row under Darren Rizzi. Could he get the full-time gig? I don't know. Right, but also I love that this is basically just an FU to Dennis Allen. It was great. Jameis, 30 of 46 for 395, 2 touchdowns. Had a long catch a run to Jerry Judy. A big-time game, but yeah. Sort of ruined the Jameis homecoming, but is what it is. Colts go on the road, beat the Jets. The Jets are 3-8. They are garbaggio. It's awesome to see. Plus, great to see Anthony Richardson putting together a fantastic game. Threw for a touchdown, was kind of efficient, 20 of 30 for 272, ran for a touchdown as well, the go-ahead, and I'm happy. And Bryce Young being benched and Anthony Richardson being benched and coming back, I mean, you do like seeing that, where being sent to the bench isn't a death sentence anymore. And they're coming back stronger with a chip on their shoulder. I still believe in Anthony Richardson, man. I think that he's going to be a little something. The game that was supposed to be the game of the early window, not so much. But Ravens come up short. Steelers get a nice hard-fought win at home, 18-16. Justin Tucker missed the field goals, man. Also, Derrick Henry. You know that Tomlin is Derrick Henry's kryptonite? So Derrick Henry's never run for 100 yards on a Tomlin defense. It's crazy, man. But Lamar sort of came back down to earth, and the Steelers had a good game plan. And respect to Tomlin, they're 8-2. Ravens fall to 7-4, and they get a leg up in the AFC North division race. To the late games, to the late window, to the wall. Falcons are ass. Thank you. Like Falcons are straight up Mike Tyson butt cheeks. They're just bad. Broncos. So maybe we're wrong about Bo Nix. It's looking really damn good, dropping 4 touchdowns. Stupid-ass Sean Payton gets a blowout in this spot. And, I mean, everything was clicking for the Broncos. The defense was dominant. The offense was rolling. And the Falcons, had a lot of hope to start things off, but now they fall to 6-5. They got embarrassed. Kurt looks banged up. It's the first time in his career that he's had 2 starts where he hasn't thrown a touchdown. I think that's what the graphic said. Penix came in at the end. Is there a quarterback controversy? Who knows? But, yeah. Then, Seahawks. Geno! I love me some Geno Smith, man. So, maybe it's players that are written off, and except they didn't write back. But the Niners, I felt like the Niners were just sort of toying with the Seahawks in this game. They just couldn't put them away. The Niners would get the ball back. They're up 4. They can't cash in. They can't do anything. And then the Seahawks were just plugging away. Jackson Smith and Jigba, big-time game, 10 catches for $110. Kenneth Walker ran one in as well. And then Geno at the end, down 17-13, need a touchdown to win. It's what you dream about in the backyard every single time. And he found a crease along the sidelines and ran it in. I love it, man. I can't help it. I love me some Geno Smith. I love the attitude. I love the high variance nature of him. And that's what happens to Seahawks. Like, they're 5-5. The Niners are 5-5. The Rams are 5-5. Like, the NFC West is going to be interesting, man. I don't think a wild card comes out of there. I think the wild card will be 2 NFC North teams. So whoever wins the division, 2 wild cards from the NFC North, and then 1 from the East. Probably the Commies. So there you go. Chiefs and Bills. Ding dong, the Chiefs are dead. Josh Allen looking like Superman out there, man. Running in that touchdown at the end to really seal things up. But the Chiefs, I don't know. Like there was moments of magic. There was moments of passion, but it always seemed right. But they come up short in the end. And we predicted this. I predicted that the Bills would win the regular season matchup, but then they'd lose the playoff matchup, which is probably going to happen. That's how it goes, man. Then Sunday night. So this was an amazing game. It was a lot of fun, man. And it was 2 high-powered offenses. The Chargers' defense is actually supposed to be pretty good, but they got shredded a little bit by the Bengals. And 2 franchises that historically have just given away games in Greek tragedy fashion. And that's what happened here. I mean, this game got knotted up at 27-27, and then nobody wanted to win. Like the Chargers' drives were stalling out, and McPherson, the kicker for the Bengals, was shanking kicks all over the place. It was rough, man. But my guy T. Higgins, 9 for $148 and 1. That quad looks pretty good. Jamar Chase had 2 touchdowns. Burrow threw for 3 and almost 350 yards passing, but they still lose. You had to get. It's almost like this is a team game. The Bengals defense is ass. Herbert had himself a big-time game. Quentin Johnston caught a touchdown. Same thing with a guy, Will Dissly. And, I mean, the Chargers are interesting. I mean, big props to Harbaugh, like changing cultures, turning this into a ride-or-die team. J.K. Dobbins with the game winner at the end. And I mean, they got after Burrow. Like, even though they gave up points and they bent at times, but when it came down to really lock things down at the end, they did it. And broke up the Hail Mary at the end. I feel like Higgins had that, man. Yeah, Higgins had 2 mitts on that. My fantasy team would have enjoyed if he would have brought that in the end zone, but is what it is. I think the Bengals are cooked. I think they have too many deficiencies on special teams. McPherson is maybe the worst kicker in the league, as well as defensively. Lou Anarumo's squad, like, they've just dissipated. Like, they just rely too much on Trey Hendrickson. He's not that guy anymore. Mike Hilton is still a stud. Frankly, I think the Vikings should have traded for him at the deadline, but then Monday night, Texans are just going to beat the Cowboys' ass. Cowboys are inert. Like, can't do anything on offense. You're relying on Rico Dowdle because you can't trust Zeke Elliott or Dalvin Cook. I mean, Micah is back for the second game. I don't know. Like, there's just not enough there. And the Texans are a really good bad team or a very bad good team. I haven't decided as of yet, but Texans should be able to handle things. They're a touchdown favorite for a reason. I think that they'll hold serve. I think that they'll cover as well. But that's it. Recapping Week 11 NFL action. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section. You guys know what to do. Skol, production value.